Sri Lanka, an island nation steeped in ancient lore, holds within its heart a chilling tale. It is the legend of Mahasona, the terrifying demon of the night. His name whispers on the wind, sending shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls. Imagine, if you will, the lush jungles of ancient Ceylon. Darkness falls, shrouding the land in an eerie silence. Fireflies flicker like distant stars, their feeble light doing little to pierce the oppressive gloom. He is not a figment of imagination, a story told to frighten children. Mahasona is real, the embodiment of fear itself, a malevolent entity that preys on the unwary. Ritigala Jayasena was no ordinary man. He was a warrior, a leader, his name whispered with respect and admiration. His heart, however, belonged to a woman who would ultimately lead him down a path of darkness. Their love was the stuff of legends, a bond that seemed unbreakable. But love, as they say, can be a double-edged sword. The woman he loved, driven by ambition and greed, betrayed him. The details of her treachery vary from village to village, but the outcome remains the same. Jayasena, heartbroken and consumed by rage, found himself facing a fate worse than death. His enemies, sensing an opportunity, struck. They stripped him of his honor, his pride, and ultimately his life. Death, for most, is the end, but for Ritigala Jayasena it was a doorway, a passage into a realm of darkness and despair. Consumed by his rage and the burning desire for revenge, his soul twisted, corrupted by the pain of betrayal. He was no longer the noble warrior, but a vessel of vengeance, a being of pure, unadulterated rage. His skin, once smooth and tanned, became ashen and cracked, as if burned from within. His eyes, once filled with warmth and laughter, now blazed with an infernal fire. Ritigala Jayasena, the warrior, was no more. In his place stood Mahasona, the demon of the graveyard, a creature born of anguish and fueled by an insatiable thirst for vengeance. The island, once a paradise bathed in sunlight and laughter, now trembled under the shadow of Mahasona. He stalked the night, a malevolent entity drawn to the scent of fear. No longer bound by the limitations of flesh and blood, he could appear at will, his presence heralded by a bone-chilling cold and the stench of decay. Travelers making their way through the dense jungles spoke of a terrifying figure that haunted the crossroads. Its eyes, they said, burned with an infernal fire capable of stealing the breath from your lungs with a single glance. Villages, once bustling with life, became shrouded in fear. The laughter of children was replaced by whispered prayers, their parents desperately seeking protection from the demon that haunted their nights. Mahasona had become a nightmare made flesh, a terrifying reminder of the darkness that lurked just beneath the surface of their world. His reign of terror was absolute. Mahasona's appearance was the stuff of nightmares. His skin, ashen and cracked, seemed to glow with an internal fire. His eyes, burning like hot coals, could pierce the veil of darkness with terrifying clarity. Legend has it that Mahasona's tongue was not merely a grotesque appendage, but a weapon of immense power. With a flick of his fiery tongue, he could incinerate his victims, leaving behind nothing but ash and the lingering stench of sulfur. But it was his eyes that truly instilled terror in the hearts of men. Those who looked into them spoke of being trapped in an endless abyss, their souls filled with an overwhelming sense of dread and despair. His appearance was a testament to his power, a physical manifestation of the rage and torment that burned within him. The villages, nestled amongst the rolling hills and verdant rice paddies, had once been havens of peace and tranquility. But with the coming of Mahasona, a palpable fear settled over the land, seeping into the very fabric of their lives. As darkness descended, the villagers would barricade themselves inside their homes, their hearts pounding with a primal fear. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of leaves outside their windows sent shivers down their spines. Parents would clutch their children close, whispering ancient charms and prayers, desperate to shield them from the horrors that lurked in the night. Mahasona's reign of terror had transformed their lives into a waking nightmare. Fear, however, is a powerful motivator. Faced with the terrifying reality of Mahasona, The villagers turned to their ancient traditions, seeking solace and protection in the rituals passed down through generations. One of the most common rituals involved the creation of protective charms known as yantras, inscribed with sacred symbols and verses believed to ward off evil spirits. These yantras were typically worn on the body or hung in homes and places of worship. Another common practice was the burning of incense and the chanting of mantras, ancient prayers and incantations believed to invoke the blessings of benevolent deities and repel malevolent forces. These rituals were a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a refusal to succumb to fear. Among the many rituals employed to ward off Mahasona, the chanting of mantras held a special significance. These ancient verses, passed down through generations by word of mouth, were believed to possess a potent spiritual energy capable of influencing the forces of the unseen world. The most powerful of these mantras, whispered only in hushed tones, was said to be the Hanuman mantra. Lord Hanuman, the monkey god, revered for his strength and courage, was believed to be a formidable protector against all forms of evil. As the villagers chanted the Hanuman mantra, their voices rising and falling in unison, a palpable energy seemed to fill the air, creating a protective barrier around them. The chanting of mantras was not merely a means of seeking protection, but also a way of connecting with a power greater than themselves. Despite the villagers' valiant efforts, Mahasona's grip on the island remained unyielding. His reign of terror continued, casting a long shadow over the land and its people. The stories of his atrocities spread like wildfire, carried by weary travelers and whispered in hushed tones around flickering oil lamps. It seemed that no amount of prayers, charms, or rituals could fully appease the demon's wrath. His thirst for vengeance remained insatiable, fueled by the memory of his betrayal and the torment that raged within him. The villagers lived in a perpetual state of fear, their lives forever altered by the presence of this malevolent entity. Mahasona's reign of terror had left an indelible mark on the island, transforming it from a paradise into a haunted land. Generations have passed since the first whispers of Mahasona's reign of terror spread through the jungles and villages of Sri Lanka. The details of his origins may have become blurred with time, but his legend endures, woven into the very fabric of the island's folklore. Even today, his name is spoken with a mixture of fear and reverence. Parents still caution their children about wandering alone at night, lest they encounter the demon of the graveyard. The old rituals and charms passed down through generations are still practiced in some parts of the island. Mahasona's story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the destructive nature of anger, betrayal, and the insatiable thirst for revenge. He is a symbol of the darkness that lurks within us all, waiting for the right moment to emerge. But perhaps more importantly, Mahasona's legend is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The legend of Mahasona has not been confined to the dusty pages of folklore. It has found new life in the modern age, inspiring countless adaptations in literature, theatre, and even film. His terrifying visage has graced book covers, his story has been dramatized on stage, and his legend has been captured on celluloid. These modern interpretations often explore the psychological complexities of the tale, delving into the themes of betrayal, revenge, and the struggle between good and evil. Mahasona, once a one-dimensional monster, has been given depth and nuance, his motivations explored and his humanity, or lack thereof, examined. Yet despite these modern reinterpretations, the core of Mahasona's story remains unchanged. He remains a figure of fear, a symbol of the darkness that lurks in the shadows of our collective consciousness.